Yeah?
Yeah, we're good.
Going? Oh, I'm not paying attention. All right. Toy Soldiers here with another pauper deck. This time we're going to do Megaman 2 from the starter set in the Megaman.
Because helmets are for wusses.
Exactly. They are for wusses. You hit people with them.
You can't play in the NHL.
This is a good pauper deck. We kind of build it quasi aggro, quasi breaker wall. It's pretty nifty. I'm a little bit impressed with it. So, but let's get into it right away. For our base, kind of, I don't know, amazing attack card, we're running Leaf Shield. 2 keywords on it, so we can get +2 damage using Megaman. It's got breaker 1. It just shrugs off anything, even if you half block it. It's just fantastic. It's low, so it's pretty good at chipping damage. This card's amazing if you're trying to stay alive. So of course we can run 4 for that. We're also running 4 Shiki Yambar Eyes. It's got, again, breaker 1, 2 keywords, so you get +2 damage off Megaman. It's another low attack. You got +0 mid. And you also get that free draw if you get the momentum out there. So this thing's really good as well.
I would honestly argue that's like one of the most useful attacks in all 3 of those.
Oh, it's so amazing. I love
it's
this
just like I can't imagine not playing that.
Just amazing numbers. It's got free draw. It's got breaker. Oh, it's so good.
I think playing 4 is too much.
Yeah,
you would, Garrett.
You would, Garrett. We're also running 4 copies of Shoryu Dan because this card ends games. I'm always blown away, and I didn't play this card at first. I actually avoided this thing, and then after dying to it a few times, I'm like, maybe I'm missing out on something. It's 2+ low block, so it helps cover zones. It's multiple. It's a high attack. Again, the 2 keywords. It also clogs pool, which is really fantastic. Your opponent adds top card of their discard pile to the card pool. They don't get to pick it. You just get to throw on the top card, which is really handy in case they have those trolley while in card pool cards sitting in their graveyard. So,
and if you're off symboling Zealot Rush like an idiot, this card can kill you for free.
I know that happened.
That happens a lot.
That happens. Getting onto the techier side of the attack lineup, we're running 3 Henkyo Ki. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Probably.
+0 high block. That's amazing. It's a reversal ranged attack. You notice we're running a lot of range other than that Shoryu Dan. That's for something later on. This attack gets +6 damage. Your opponent's next attack this turn gets -X damage. X equals the number of cards your opponent has drawn, or add to their hand due to card effects this turn, or due to their effects this turn. So it's really good against guys like Skullman. That turns out he draws lots of stuff, or anyone playing really wally decks that just have a ton of off-turn draw. This thing's really good on your turn. It's also really good as the reversal because your Megaman, you can throw stun 2 on it, throw this thing down. If they're trying to play aggro to draw cards before they start going into their attack chain, it's really good because then you get the extra damage off that. You get the damage off the 3 keywords when you put stun on it being Megaman. You just do some really gross stuff with this card. So puts in lots of work. Love it. We're also running 2 copies of Super Mega Buster. Again, it's a ranged high block, so that's fantastic. But dropping the 1 momentum just to put this thing up to 9 damage is just really, really good. Just, something to throw momentum to aside from the Shoryu Dans that just, it can kill people. That's why it's in here. A good damage card. We're then running the 1 Hyper Mega Buster just because this thing helps you get over walls. It's just really, really good for that.
True story.
You throw stun 2 on it when you open up with this thing. You stun 2, then you target commit after that. Then you can discard a momentum to target commit again. It's just disgusting. It takes care of all the answers that you're worried about, kind of, causing you trouble when you're going for the kill. That concludes the attacks. Getting into the only asset that we're running is 2 copies of E-Tank, +0 mid block. You can never say no to that kind of thing. Your turn, remove, look at your opponent's hand, gain a vitality for each keyword. The gain of vitality part's it's good. I see that, I don't run this card for that effect at all. I just run it to look at my opponent's hand because going into your kill turns, it's really good to know what they have, if you need to abort after the first attack or not. This card kind of lets you know that, which really saves you from getting backswing killed by certain people. So this card's pretty stinking valuable.
Controversial opinion. Looking at your opponent's hand is the most powerful effect in the game.
Yes.
Down.
Yeah.
Most powerful effect.
I definitely agree. I've been running E-Tank in every deck I can shove this thing into. So
it's not bad.
It's not bad. 4 copies of Motivation. Like I said, we're running a lot of ranged cards, and we're running, I think, 6 different cards that use momentum as fuel, and we're running the Shiki Kais, which let us draw for momentum. So 4 motivates is just, of course you're running this thing, destroy it, add a ranged card into your momentum. This thing's just, it's fuel. It kind of acts as a quasi-lube because it pulls stuff out of your card pool. Of course you're going to run Motivate. It's just amazing in this deck.
I can barely contain myself from yelling, let's get motivated.
Let's get motivated.
Let's get motivated.
4 copies of Hunters once more. This card's getting really popular, really fast. It's just gross. You can just flash in a ton of momentum just out of nowhere just because it's cheats and it's stupid. If you don't know what it does, response after you play another copy of this card, add it to your momentum. So if you have it in your staging area and you just play one, it just pops in your momentum, and then you can start your turn after that. just free stuff everywhere. It's also a spammy foundation for the beginning of the game, so helps with those early builds. Then 4 copies of Order from Hydern, because I love this card and I'm super favorable to it. But as I've said before, this thing, when you commit it during the enhanced step, it gives +2 damage. Turns out Megaman commits things as the cost to get +1 damage for keywords. So this thing just adds +2 to all those things. It just makes your attacks really big and beefy. Like, it turns your leaf shields into, like, you know, 7 damage lows, which is just stupid. It just makes your, so much damage. Numbers, love numbers.
It's also really good against P-Hal.
It's against P-Hal. When P-Hal's around, it was disgusting. This thing it locks stuff down, locks out Protoman, it locks out Kim decks, it locks out just all sorts of people doing stupid things. If you don't know how it does that, it has E destroy this foundation, choose 1 attack in your opponent's card pool. It may not be removed from the card pool for the rest of this combat phase, play while committed. It also prevents people from motivating their attacks to gain momentum. It prevents people from just doing, like, Skull Barrier, I believe it cancels as well, stops them from doing that response. It does tons of weird interactive stuff to people that they don't usually ever expect it to, so love Orders from Hydern. We're also running 4 copies of Leona's Orochi Blood. 2+ mid block, great for a foundation. We are running the Fire Good attack, so we can get the +1 damage. We can get the +2 speed if we really wanted because of the Shiki Kai. Where it really shines, though, is that it's playable while committed. And it also shines that it works as a speed reduction as well, which helps us get our blocks off, which helps us play all those breakers that we like doing. And Megaman can give more stuff breaker, because who doesn't love just breakering people constantly? And speaking of breakering people constantly, we're running 4 copies of a fighting robot because we need more breaker in this deck. This is what's going to let you just stop turns. You start loading your staging area up with these things. You play anything. You can either, any attack as a block, you can give it breaker 2 with Megaman, or you can have your leaf shield breaker 1. This just obviously pumps up that breaker.
This is why you run Reformed Scientist, people.
You don't want to be on the other end of this,
ever.
Kind of as like a 5th fighting robot, we're also running a Sons of Dr. Light just to add as like a 5th breaker pump, because like I said, we're running tons of range cards. This one's commit. If you block this attack with a ranged deck, it's breaker 1, so it doesn't have the block and it's only got a 4 on it, but so it's kind of like working as the 5th fighting robot, but it's repeatable, you know, lather, rinse, repeat. You can just do that with Sons of Light, so really good. Love all that stuff. 4 copies of Dauntless, right? Clutch drawing, really handy, especially if you get to the late game. You can blow these up with a lesser cost to your staging area to get your extra draw to dig for attacks or defensive draw or anything. It's just spammable foundation. Really solid.
Really good in the pauper format.
It's really good in any format.
Super easy card draw. Can't argue.
Getting into the techier stuff, 3 copies of Kapoken Training, because this thing saves lives. It just shuts down.
You should be ashamed of not running 4 of these, by the way.
Why? What do you mean?
You run 4.
Nah, you don't have to run 4. No block 4 different. No, I'm not running 4 Kapoken Trainings.
Even Garrett just feels disgusted.
I'm even getting blocked. So apparently you're supposed to run 4 Kapoken Trainings, and I'm doing something horribly wrong.
Yeah, what happened? What is this?
Turn this foundation face down after your opponent plays an attack. It just knocks off all keywords. Stops multiple, stops powerful, stops stinking everything. Does this thing stop flash? It stops flash too? Yeah, it stops flash. It does dumb stuff. It's just Kapoken saves lives.
Snake Man's gonna finger blast, and you're gonna be like, man, I wish I had that 4th Kapoken.
Probably. Something's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be crying to myself because I don't have that 4th Kapoken. 3 copies of Tainted Blood. Order does, or not Order. We're not even playing Order. We're playing Good. What am I talking about? But anyways, low blocks are fantastic. Expandable foundation. You can target your Orders from Hydern with this thing, and Orders from Hydern still gonna proc when you commit it because it's a static. So this thing's cool. Gets you extra numbers, and yeah, even if worst case scenario, you can commit it for Mega Man's pump. 2 copies of Agile Warrior. Switching zones is fantastic, especially when you're running a card like Surprise E-Tank, where you can look at their hand and be like, oh, hey, you're not holding low blocks. Turns out this attack's low now. It's just that kind of junk. It's really handy. And then on the defensive side, you can obviously just use these to keep zone changing into whatever you do happen to have in your hand. So Agile's pretty great. 2 Gamma Destroyers, because Jiffney Jammers is a thing, and this card just lets you kill her free. So yeah, you're going Gamma Destroyer. This card's also good because, again, we can look at their hand, and if they just don't happen to have that too simple card that shares, then you just be like, oh look, free damage. Oh look, free damage.
Yeah, so, it's the free SM of UFS.
Yeah, this thing's just free stuff. Especially when you're, again, looking at their hands, it's just free for days. We're running 2 copies of Focus and Patient because we do lots of blocks, we do lots of breakers, and this thing's just going to make sure that we can look at our top, we can kind of organize what we have on the top to pick up with Dauntless, so we can pick up better blocks, or we can Make sure that we have 5s on top so that we're passing our checks. It's just really, really handy, spammable foundation. You can only do it once per turn, so 2 is a good number for that because usually after 2 rounds of breakering and probably reversaling, they're probably going to be less inclined to attack you. Unless they have a plan they're going to kill you, but then you're in bigger trouble than that. We're going to run a pull to magic in as well because it's kind of the brother to this card. Look at the top card of your deck once per turn. Again, you can help decide whether or not you're going to Dauntless. The Desperation Art's fantastic. After your opponent plays an attack, add it back to their hand. This thing's really good in those clutch moments where they're kind of getting to the late string and they think they got that kill. It's basically like a destroy. They have to continue attacking. So really, really good. We're running the 1 copy of Weapons Upgrade because, we run lots of Breaker. This makes your Breakers even more breakery because Breaker 4, Breaker 5 is just disgusting. So, yeah, we're running Weapons Upgrade. 1 copy of Serentanium Blades because Clogging Pools really, again, just slows them down. And even on offense, this thing's good because Clogging Pools is really good. So, yeah, Serentanium is fantastic. 1 copy of Comfort in a Bottle because deck thinning is game winning. So it just lets you recycle your hand, gives you basically an extra review step so you can get rid of those foundations when you want attacks, get rid of the attacks when you want to be building. Just, good overall card. And then the 1 DLN 001. Just,
You're only running one of those?
Yeah, I'm only running one of these.
I swear you got that every game over 5 games.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. This thing's just super dauntless.
I was expecting you had at least like 2.
Yeah, I've played decks where I ran 3 of this thing and I just blew it up every single chance I had, and that actually kind of worked out too. But in this kind of thing, I like it too. I'm running 4 dauntless, so this thing works out. It doesn't have a block, so it gets a little bit hard to justify unless you don't have any other non-blocks in the deck already.
You need to kind of kill some of the fun on that.
Yeah, I know.
Like playing shenanigans.
So when you do run multiples of this thing, you got to pop it pretty much every single chance you get. So anyways, that is the Megaman deck. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, yeah, I think we'll be coming in with the Dark Soccer Tin characters. So yeah, tune in for that. That's it.
Peace out.